And as you hear this message, predictions are open. You can place your bets in the chat. You can place your channel points. Put your channel points on the line with who is going to qualify today. Is it going to be one Protoss or the other? Let's find out. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the American Protoss player. He is red, representing Onside Gaming. It is Neeb. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the other American player. This one has been spending a little bit more time in Korea recently, coming back from Valencia, as well as his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player himself representing Alpha X. It is Astrea. Here we go. The PvPs continue. And I imagine this series is going to be a little bit more standard and straightforward compared to the previous one. Trigger, he loves to be aggressive when he can be, and Astrea loves to kind of meet the energy levels of his opponents. Also, was relatively aggressive last series as well. But we'll see how things go here on Cosmic Sapphire. Again, Cosmic Sapphire, one of the larger, if not the largest map in the map pool, and it's pretty interesting because of that. I'm sure everyone has seen it already, but you know, we do have a gold base here towards the bottom left hand corner of the map. Can come into play, especially as the game goes on longer. It can be a natural kind of fourth base or even fifth base for certain players. Meanwhile, the ramp or the entryway into the natural base is very narrow as well. It doesn't take too many. It takes 2 buildings and 1 unit to fully wall off. So I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if a Protoss player tried to be a little bit greedier and go for a gate expand on this map, but at least here in this series, that's not going to be the case. They don't go for it. Oof. And I guess talking about the players a little bit, I know that I was kind of hyping up Astrea a little bit more, talking about his time in Korea and playing in GSL. But I think the other important thing to take note of is that Neeb is on a new team. Relatively new. I think Onside Gaming is the newest high-profile team in the scene right now. As Astrea goes for the gold! Oh my god! Oh my god. I was you know what, I can talk about Neeb later, because Astrea is a madman. He goes for a double gate expand here, but Neeb is gonna scout. How does he know? Oh my god, he checks the bottom left, he confirms the base, and Astrea sees that he's been scouted because he did throw down a pylon first, so he does have vision here. He is fully aware. Is Astrea gonna commit? It looks like he is. This Nexus is gonna finish, and we're gonna see a recall. Oh my god. Alright, Astrea, let's go. So Neeb, he can definitely abuse this because we already have 2 Stalkers on the way. I'm worried right now. I wonder if Astrea was looking at his minimap at the time, because even though he has a pylon, even though he had vision of the probe, did he see it himself? Can he even help, like, can he even defend this area? Because Astrea, he's going to be moving out with his Stalkers, does have a proxy pylon, but immediately gets intercepted by 4 Stalkers of Neeb. 1 Stalker goes down immediately. This pylon is going to be cancelled. Neeb has so much momentum going his way, throws down a proxy gateway in range or within the vicinity of this Nexus, and we saw a recall, and now these Stalkers are going to go down. Or are they? We do see Astrea trying to warp in as best he can. He's going to lose 1 Stalker, but he's going to gain 1 in the process with the reinforcements. Astrea is defending the gold. He did throw down. He's going for 4 gateways. Oh my god. He has twice the amount of production of Neeb. And because of that, Astrea, he shuts down the proxy gateway. Neeb, he's still stuck on 2 gates. Oh my god. This is amazing. This is beautiful. Meanwhile, across the map, the Oracle does get in, and a lot of workers are going down, but it doesn't matter because Neeb is on 1 base economy, and Astrea also has the gold. He can afford to lose these workers, even though Neeb does have the economic advantage. Meanwhile, across the map, Astrea, he just has the numbers straight up. There is no shield battery here in the main base either. He gets in. Oh my god, he's breaking on forward. He has to be a little bit careful with how he controls his army, but he focuses down Stalker after Stalker. Boys are being forced up the line, but it is not going to be enough. We do have an Oracle, and the Oracle is going to help out a little bit. The probes are body blocking a little bit as well. Oh, we need a couple of reinforcements here with this pylon. Astrea, his Stalkers are slowly falling. Neeb holds. Oh my god, and only loses 2 probes in the process, but Astrea still has the gold. He still has plenty going for him. But he's running out of steam, actually. Where are these setups going? I thought they was going to try and sneak into the main base, but it looks like Astrea is going the long way around instead. Oracle is going to rock up here towards the gold base, and oh, this is painful. Astrea down to half the worker count. It doesn't matter if you have the gold base. Unfortunately, Astrea doesn't have all of his workers here at the gold. His economy is in shambles right now. Neeb is stabilizing. And I think the only way for Astrea to come back is maybe these adepts. Maybe they sneak in and maybe they deal some damage, but there are just so many more stalkers here defensively for Neeb. Astrea had a little momentum earlier, but because of the Oracle harassment, like eventually, like he ran out. Just ran out of steam. He's done. Now this is the key for Astrea. The stalkers are looking to move out, so Astrea's moving in, but oh, Neeb fakes him out. He turns around. He is here ready for the adepts, and the adepts they shouldn't. Oh wait, they commit to the shade. Questionable move here from Astrea. He loses his adepts in the end. Force the warping back at home, trying to keep this gold base alive. It's not gonna work though. Honestly, if Neeb wanted to, he could even just he could even just ignore this stalker and dive in. That's exactly what he does. More probes are falling left and right. Oh my god, he comes in from behind as well. This is disgusting. The Oracle on 1 HP survives. Astrea forced all in once again. He does have the Stalker lead. He does have 10 Stalkers compared to the 7 of Neeb. But we have Shield Battery, we have Overcharge. Like, Overcharge isn't available yet, to be fair. But GG gets called. And Neeb will take game number 1. But what a game number 1. Astrea going for the gold. He's crazy. But what was crazier is the fact that, if you remember, winding back time a little bit, Neeb scouted that gold immediately. He checked. It didn't even seem like he was looking for a gold base. He was just looking for proxies. But he did just stumble upon the Nexus and he shut it down immediately. Oh, I say he shut it down immediately. I mean, he was able to respond quite well to it, right? Like going for his Stargate, going for the Oracle across the map. His plan was to try and punish the gold. He didn't really in the end because of the 4-gate build from Astrea. But we saw that the economic damage that was being dealt to Astrea was just a little bit too much. Like, despite even having the gold, it wasn't enough anyway. Oof. GG. And now we dive into game number 2. Unfortunately, no gold bases here. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. And here we go. We're diving into game number 2 and spawning in at the bottom left-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice ESL. We have the player who is currently leading this series 1-0, the American Protoss. It is Neeb. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice ESL, we have the American Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Astrea. Both players going for their low ground walls, as we would expect. I guess this is something to point out. I know Fear Dragon always brings this up, and everyone brings this up, to be fair. Astrea can be a really quirky player. He's willing to think outside the box. He's willing to try out these weird and quirky things to get, you know, cheeky wins in a way, like going for the goal base. And that's what I love about him and this new map pool, is the fact that he can he's free to like let his creative ideas run wild, you know, on maps like Stargazers, or on maps like Cosmic Sapphire, on maps like Waterfall. Like these, like a lot of these maps have a lot of weird quirks to them. Not so much Tropical Sacrifice. This is a little bit more standard as these maps come. But yeah, it's just really cool to see a pro player at the level of Astrea, just, you know, doing whatever he wants in a way. Just trying new things, I think is a better way to put it. Trying new things to see if they can work. And I'm sure sometimes they do. Meanwhile, on the flip side of things, as both players are just being as annoying as possible, and Neeb is looking to, or both players are looking to expand. I also want to bring up Neeb last game. Like, not just that he's on a new team, but I don't know how public this was, but Neeb was kind of losing motivation and losing, in a way, passion for the game a couple of years ago. I want to say 2020 and 2021. 2020 mainly. Yeah, like he was just kind of playing just to play. He was only participating in DreamHack and nothing else. He was on Ting and he was being supported by his team, but yeah, he didn't really have the drive to improve. Not like he used to. Not like back in like Kespa Cup days, 2017 era, even before that. 2017 era Neeb. So yeah, like it was kind of a sad moment. Because, like, again, even though it felt like Neeb was, like, resting on his laurels a little bit. There was no big motivation, and, yeah, it felt as if he was in his twilight years, in a way. Hashtag Team Jacob. But, but, yeah, that's why it was really cool to see him get picked up by Onside Gaming, a new Korean-based team, and see Neeb actually practice and actually be motivated again. He was actually talking about this in DreamHack in his interviews, specifically in his interviews with Fear Dragon. So it was really cool to see him reinvigorated in a way. And yeah, we can kind of see that in his play. We saw that at DreamHack. We saw him get top 8. We could see him do it again in TSL if he qualifies. So I think everyone is happy to see Neeb once again in form, once again practicing, once again passionate about the game. It's great to see. Great to see. As we did have a Stargate opener for both players, we see Neeb coming across the map, immediately trying to focus on that pylon like he did before, but to no avail as he doesn't get in. Meanwhile, Stasis Trap in the main base is going to get one probe, but only one probe, as Neeb is forced to recall in the end because of this Phoenix. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here. If you remember, Riser also went for this full wall off, and Neeb also tried to abuse it. This time though, Astrea did go for his Stalkers, didn't go for any kind of sentry follow-up. Instead, he is able to hold on, and we'll see if Astrea can hunt down that Oracle, because that's what he wants. That's what he's looking for right now. Oh god, but so far the army movement of Neeb is just a little bit too good. He does protect these oracles with his Stalkers, does zone away that Phoenix, and so far this Phoenix hasn't really done too much. He did force a recall, like, yes, but he's falling behind a little bit as Neeb is just zooming across the map. Oh, I love it. Astrea, he anticipates that Neeb is going into the main base, but no, Neeb rotates around and he's actually going towards the natural instead. There is one Stalker here, but only one Stalker, and mate, with 2 Oracles, we can one-shot the probes. That's exactly what happens. He dives on in. Astrea just outmaneuvered here by Neeb. And 6 probes go down. He may lose one Oracle. No, never mind. The Stalkers are here. Up! The Oracle somehow survives. How does it live? And Neeb, he's just keeping up, pumping up that aggression. The Phoenix is going to try and find an angle to dive on that Oracle. It looks like he can. Oh, almost. As Astrea is trying to break free from his bases, already has a 3rd on the way, faster than that of Neeb. I think he's a little bit lucky. Neeb didn't scout. He didn't check the 3rd. Because Neeb knows that Astrea is walled in, I think he assumed that there wasn't a probe out on the map. He never thought to check the 3rd, and because of that, Astrea is getting away with this. Oh boy. Meanwhile, here we go. Neeb taking a little bit of an engagement here in the middle of the map, throwing down some Stasis Traps as well. 3rd base has been scouted here by this Zealot, and Astrea has to be feeling pretty good about himself because, hey, sure, the Zealot may die, but he confirms, mate, your third is so late compared to mine. Like, let's go. I can catch up in terms of workers. I may have lost 6 probes earlier to the 2 oracles, but again, with triple probe production, it doesn't even matter. I make up for it anyway. The game is still, I mean, it's still anyone's game. Still looking pretty even. But meanwhile, we do see Neeb going for his faster forge. This is very reminiscent to Trigger versus Astrea, where Trigger had the faster upgrades, but Astrea made up for that with faster chargelets instead. Chargelets, they're kind of like Zerglings. They do incredibly well against Stalkers, especially when you have your own Stalkers behind them to buffer. So Astrea is going to have a bit of a better army, a little bit lower quality. So we'll see how well it can work. As Neeb shades in, again, pulls away a lot of supply here of Astrea, rotating around, trying to hit this third base. Does get confirmation. Oh, your third is already fully saturated, but doesn't break in. Shieldbait is just a little bit too good. Meanwhile, both players kind of going for the same overall composition. We see charge on the way for both players, +1 as well. Neeb is switching things up a little bit, going for a faster Templar Archive so he can go into Archons, and Archons are a great way to shut down those Zealots. Meanwhile, Astrea, instead of going for Archons, is going for Disruptors with that Robotics Bay. Oh boy, the balls are coming. As Astrea does end up getting eyes on the Stasis Trap. Neeb taking an interesting 4th base, to be honest. I feel like the vertical 4th is a little bit more common here, but yeah. Oh my god, we do see a blink going forward as well. Neeb, he notices, hold up, your army is looking a little bit weaker here. +1 is going to finish up in a couple of seconds as well. Neeb shaving off a lot of Stalkers. As Neeb backs off in the end. The thing is that Astrea can afford to lose Stalkers, though. It's not the biggest of deals. Like, this is his main army, sure, but we have Disruptors anyway, you know? Like, all it takes is 1 or 2 Disruptor shots, and it makes up for all of that, all of those losses. Meanwhile, I think what's important for Astrea, likewise how his third base wasn't scouted and he was able to get away with it. Astrea, there we go, only just now confirms the 4th base location of Neeb. Astrea, though, doubling down and actually double expanded. Has his 4th up and running, and his 5th is on the way. Here we go, we do see Neeb moving out. We do have a couple of spotter probes here, and Astrea does have eyes on the army location. Gonna be trying to meet up with him. Disruptors coming out. Neeb only just now throwing down his own Robotics Bay and 2nd Robo. Oh. Let's go! Oh, the first Nova goes off. Hoping that Neeb was going to be pushing up that ramp. We have a 2nd Nova waiting here in the chamber for Astrea. Neeb, upon realizing that he has the Disruptor deficit, I don't think pushing up this ramp is going to be the best idea. Oh, just posturing. I don't think he ever intends to really commit here. I feel like if he does, it would be a mistake. It's one of those things where Neeb is relatively light when it comes to his Stalker count. He has a lot more Zealots, and unfortunately Zealots, they can't blink. They can't avoid those Novas. Meanwhile, Neeb getting a free pylon. The Disruptors are now on the way. There we go, 2 being pumped out at a time. And because of this, Astrea's been able to get away. Is he gonna take? He's just expanding again? Oh my god, he's crazy. Oh my god, the way that Astrea expands is insane. Up 2 bases compared to Neeb. To be fair, he doesn't have the gases. Like, mineral income isn't the biggest of deals, but yo, we have now 4 Disruptors. And Neeb just cannot engage without his own. Ooh. To see a very close blink forward there. Neeb does focus on that Disruptor just in time. Meanwhile, there's no more Novas remaining. Yeah, we have to see a recall. Ooh. couple of disruptors get picked off in the process. Neeb, he has the momentum. He's going across now. The prism goes down as well. Astrea slipping up a little bit there when it comes to his army movements. And just like that, Neeb is breaking on through. We need some more disruptors. We need some more Novas. It looks like Neeb doesn't want to try his luck. He doesn't want to keep on pushing. But now he has his own disruptors. God, Neeb trying to break on through again. He still has another Nova behind this. So far, dodging those of Astrea quite well. Oh my god, the target fire is insane. He targets down every single disruptor. Not a single one of Astrea's does go up. He does have a flanking disruptor coming in from behind, and maybe this can help him hold on. It will go up and it will get 2 disruptors, but the main army is looking too good. Archons, Immortals, Stalkers, Zealots. Neeb has a little bit of everything, and sure, Astrea may have 2 more bases, but he just doesn't have an army. The greed is not going to pay off. You have a couple of Stalkers being warped in, and that will help, but a Robo goes down. We're down to 1 Robo producing here for Astrea. The target fire is insane. Neeb just focusing down every single disruptor whenever he can. And maybe Astrea can barely hold on with these Zealots, but nah, there's no way. The rally's too good. More Novas going up from Neeb, not from Astrea. God, that is a massive warp in here for Astrea though, here at the natural, but he just can't get close to the army. He's just being zoned out. Looks like he's going to get an Immortal for free, but he's losing so much in the process. Neeb now taking a massive lead in the workers, massive lead in the army. Astrea trying to fight his heart out, but that's to what avail? As at the end of the day, it is a numbers game. Again, another blink on forward. I don't know what it is, but like, Neeb Stalkers, they have like a weird attraction to these disruptors. They just don't miss. And tries Astrea by, I mean, props to Astrea. Like, let's be real. Like, the way that he's been able to fight this out, the way that he's able to trade is making this closer than it ever should be. Really the big thing is that Neeb doesn't have a way to reinforce across the map. He doesn't have a War Prism, so his reinforcements take that much longer. And now that they're finally here, he is finally breaking on forward. Astrea has run out of money. He has run out of Warpins. GG gets called, and Neeb takes a 2-0 lead. And Neeb only needs 1 more to qualify for TeamLiquid StarLeague. Oof. Again, I wanted to give Astrea the edge there in the mid game because he was the first player to get into those disruptors, but he wasn't able to really get any good Novas off. Like, Neeb did a really good job at like biding time, at containing Astrea, getting his own economy up and running, and catching up in the tech. And eventually, when he did, it did seem as if Neeb just had better control, or maybe better crisis management. Like, maybe both. Like, things escalated real quick in that PvP, real fast, and in the matter of seconds, Astrea lost a lot. He lost his Prism, he lost 2 disruptors, he was forced to recall, he was out of position, he was getting surrounded. Yeah, things got real hot real quick for Astrea, and then Neeb just pounced on that opportunity. He just kept the pressure up, kept the pressure going. GG. GG. Despite that, I still appreciate the way that Astrea was expanding. It was like playing like a Zerg player almost. It was really cool to see. Really cool. Like, that's also why Astrea could stay in for as long as he could, for as long as he did, because of his economy, he just kept warping in massive wave after wave after wave of units. He just never had the numbers that he needed regardless though. And now, here we go. We are spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data CESL, and here we have the American Protoss player himself, currently leading the series 2-0. Only needs 1 more win to advance on and qualify for TeamLiquid StarLeague. It is Neeb, representing Onside Gaming. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, or center left, we have the other American player. This one is representing AlphaX, currently down in this series 0-2. It is Astrea. you do see both probes end up passing through each other here in the middle of the map. Again, Data Sea becoming a really popular map against amongst the pro players. You know, it's like Data Sea, Tropical Sacrifice, and Cosmic Sapphire. They are the more standard maps, to be fair. Like Waterfall is really small and quite claustrophobic as a result. We have maps like Inside and Out that is relatively standard but can also be split in half relatively easily, and I don't know if players really enjoy that. We have Cosmic Sapphire with the weird pocket bases, and then we have Moondancer, which I think is the least popular out of all of them. We rarely see Moondancer, I feel. Both Moondancer and Stargazer, I guess because of those pocket bases. Players, they want to get rid of them. They want to veto. Meanwhile, Neeb, his probe was a little bit out of position, so Astrea throws down a very quick Nexus. Doesn't need the Zealot. Meanwhile, across the map, Neeb is forced to tech up instead. He didn't want to, but the Stargate is on the way. The reason for this is, again, because he knows his Nexus is being so delayed, he doesn't want to wait any longer. Instead, he just throws down his tech. Doesn't want to fall too far behind. Oh, he even made the Zealot. Oh my god. To make the Zealot and still go Stargate first? I don't know about this from Neeb. I feel like Astrea did come out on top here in the opener, but that can all change if this Oracle does a lot of damage. Oof. We'll see how things go, as I was afraid that maybe I spoke too soon and we could just see something crazy like a Phoenix opener, but no, it is going to be that Oracle coming out for Neeb. Checking the vision of Astrea, because of his probe, like he saw that it was a Stargate first. He knows that the Oracle is going to be coming across the map soon, and he should be getting ready. There we go. We have a shield battery here in the main. Here at the natural, we're going to have our Stalker and our Sentries, so Astrea is ready for the Oracle. That doesn't mean that the Oracle won't do damage. Again, Stasis Trap is always a possibility, or we could just wait for a second Oracle and just dive in and one-shot workers. Here we go. Speaking of Stasis Trap, we do have a reaction from Astrea, but a little bit late, and 5 probes against Stasis. More than we really expected, to be honest. So already a decent start here for Neeb. I was afraid that the Oracle wasn't really gonna be able to do too much, but that Stasis worth it, and even survives here after killing 2 probes. How does he do it? How does he keep getting away with this? So yeah, the Oracle so far being well worth it. Meanwhile, we have the hallucinated Scout. The Scout confirms that there is no second Oracle, and ooh, the Adepts of Astrea do slip on in. He wants the probes, and he's gonna get them. 1, 2, maybe even 3 workers going down. Can we get 4? Oh, only 3. But not bad, not bad. And to be fair, he needed to do that because he did lose a couple of probes to that Oracle. Oh, and Astrea goes for a very quick Dark Shrine. Both players looking to be aggressive in their own way. So Astrea, behind the Twilight Council, he's still working on Blink, but he's looking to be a little bit cheeky here with those invisible men. At the same time, Neeb, how many gates do we have in total? We have 2, 3, soon to be 4 gateways. 4-gate Blink Stalker, you don't see it too often. Astrea tried to do it on game 1 with the gold base, but here Neeb is working up that Stalker count. So something scary about this, I don't know if you noticed, Neeb doesn't have a Robo, he doesn't have Detection. He does have an Oracle, so Revelation is going to be available, so he's getting a second Oracle, to be fair. Okay. So DTs won't just end the game. They can't just end the game. Meanwhile, we do see Astrea sneaking into the main base here. Ooh, gonna be dealing some damage. 3 probes going down. Does scout that 2 more gateways are here in the main. Again, 3 gates does signify aggression, but he just hasn't seen the 4th gate. He hasn't seen the proxy. I am here in the shadows. And I wonder if this is a fake third from Neeb. I mean, obviously he can still saturate it if he wants to, but here we go. Everything is coming together. The Stalkers have been revealed. Neeb wants to break through and at least force a cancel at this third base of Astrea. It looks like he should. Meanwhile, those DTs are slipping across the map. They're not going to be at home defensively, which I don't know if that's the best move here from Astrea. Meanwhile, the Oracles dive into the main base, dealing so much economic damage, but this means that they don't have a Revelation at home. Third base is denied, but the DTs, they're coming. They're coming, puppy. Robo's on the way, but it's looking a little bit vulnerable. DTs could dive on it immediately if they wanted to. Oof. And there we go. They have been revealed. Do you see a recall back home? Do we have enough energy for a Revelation? We do have one. Do we have two? The answer is we barely have enough for two. DTs get cleaned up, but not before killing 12 workers. Doesn't matter though. Neeb, he's slightly behind in the worker count, but he does have 3 next side, but Astrea is not letting up. He was forced to cancel his third, and he is rebuilding it, but before that happens, you know, he still wants to be a little bit aggressive with his army. He does have that immortal. Ugh. Just doesn't find a way in. Forced to chill out here back at home. He did warp in a third DT. This is a little bit greedy. I don't know if this is really going to deal too much damage. You do have a Stalker on hold position here at the natural. So we shall see. The Oracles, they get across the map. They don't really deal too much damage. Just throw down a Revelation. Just keeping an eye on, you know, the tech, the main base itself. Astrea trying to catch these Oracles, but it looks like he's a little bit too slow. Oracles do slip away. At the same time, DT tries to break on in, then dips on out. No way in. Oh god! And Neeb saw it. He throws down the Revelation, catches a DT, and maybe Astrea has been spending too much time with Fear Dragon. Blink is on the way here for Astrea. Ay. Blink for his DTs. Shadow Stride. I mean, it could work. Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm not convinced. I need to be convinced. Astrea moving out. Ooh, does catch a couple of these Oracles. One goes down. Oh, second goes down as well. Nicely done. That's the mobile detection gone here for Neeb. But his main army is moving out as well. He was able to get a tag on these Stalkers. He does have eyes on them. And I still can't believe that Neeb's proxy hasn't been found out. It's actually crazy. It's actually insane. A squad of DTs moving out. Oh, nice target fire here by Neeb. He gets not just one, he gets 2 of the Immortals. Oh my god, slow Zealots are coming in as well. Charge is going to finish up in a couple of seconds. That will definitely help out. Neeb looking to try and break the third base once again. Does get a cancel there on that shield battery. Meanwhile, Astrea, doesn't even matter because Shadow Stride is done. And the DTs, they're coming. Overcharge goes down now, but that with the second Immortal. It looks like Neeb is going to try and break on through. He's not going to get on top of the army, but he's going to get a lot of kills on these workers. We have a defensive DT, so Astrea shouldn't die here and now. Oh, as the DTs do reveal themselves across the map. Observers on the way, but it's a little bit too late. Up. And here we go. The DTs are going ham here across the map. Meanwhile, we do see that Neeb recalled back home. How many probes are going to go down before he cleans up the DTs, though? DTs all over the main base. They blink down towards the third as well. Probes falling left and right. Astrea going to take a lead soon. He needs 2 more kills. Oh. And the probes are the DTs are not done. Oh my god, where's the detection? Oh, Jesus. Barely try to escape as well. And 28 probes go down. A lot of damage being done. It's one of those things where Neeb lost a lot of workers, but he also has a 4th Nexus, so doesn't matter as much, but Neeb does have a lead here. I think that we can say for certainty. Got +2 on the way. Got a decent sized army as well. Got DTs mixed in because, you know, DTs, they're amazing, they're beautiful. 2 of them already on the map. But Astrea has to be careful not to throw away his lead. Like, he's up 20 supply, but pushing up a ramp into Immortals just is not the play. It's not the play. Ugh. Meanwhile, DTs are back with a vengeance. 2 more probes going down. This is so annoying, by the way. Like, these DTs have actually more than paid for themselves. It's insane what they've done. Immortal gets picked up, but at what cost? Neeb dives on the opportunity, but the Stalker count of Astrea is just a little bit too strong. Neeb's got to respect that. He's backing off. Meanwhile, at the same time, DTs do get forced back by these Stalkers. Oh, God. Finally keeping up with one of them. Meanwhile, we can see the aggressive blink on forward. Astrea, he knows he has the numbers. He gets the Immortal, but does he actually have them, though? That's the question. He's losing so much here in the trade. A little bit of an anti-timing here from Astrea. +2 is still on the way. We're equal in upgrades right now. So I don't know, any kind of supply lead that Astrea had earlier, it's now gone. He did get some Immortals for his troubles, which is nice. But Neeb also has double red production. He's making up for that. He's making as many Immortals as he can. He doesn't want to be too greedy, isn't looking to go into Disruptors, not yet. He does have the tech for it if he wants it. I love it. He's actually going for Observer speed. Gotta keep up with those ETs, you know? As we see, you know what? Neeb has had enough. He's going for his own Dark Shrine now. No, because why the hell not? Astrea trying to find a way in. So far, Neeb is a little bit in the dark. The army has finally been spotted. DT being set up towards the north. I would love some cannons, and there we go. We do have some cannons on the way. Not at the 4th base, but at the 5th instead. Astrea is up on bases. He did sneak out of 5th base earlier. Now working on a 6th, but you know what? We've seen this before on Tropical Sacrifice. Astrea may be up in bases, but sometimes it just doesn't matter. Sometimes it's still all about that main army. Oh, meanwhile, we do have a recall into the main base. Oh, 7 more probes going down. And has Astrea found a way in? I hope not. Oh my god, I know that Immortal looks juicy, Astrea, but don't go for it. We do have Disruptors behind this. As the War Prism does hide here towards the top right-hand side of the base of the map even. Neeb stuck here on these 4 bases, contained, hasn't been able to move out in a while. And Astrea is running away with the economy. But again, I'm a little bit surprised that Astrea hasn't gone for a Robotics Bay yet. I'm surprised he's still stuck on basically pure Blink Stalker. And don't get me wrong, he's going to have +3 soon, so +3 Blink Stalkers are insane. But he just doesn't have the sophistication of the army of Neeb. There is a lot of micro potential, don't get me wrong, right? Blink Stalkers are amazing, but I feel like they're getting outscaled a little bit here. I feel like the longer this goes on, Neeb just has a better army. Ooh, especially because he's only down 1 upgrade, and he's going to continue to be down 1 upgrade because +2 is about to finish up. More Disruptors are on the way as well. Go. First Nova goes off. Astrea's on the retreat. He can't really engage here. That's the thing, like, because of how high the Disruptor count is, like, Astrea can just never push in. Because of his economy, I would love if he just focused a little bit more on run buys and maybe trying to break the economy of Neeb. We saw he was doing that with DTs, but I would love that even more with charge lots. I didn't even notice. I think this is a mistake. Charge only just now starting, or now halfway through. Like, there's no way this is intentional. There's a couple more Nova zone away. The army Astrea trying to go for maybe a little bit of a pseudo surround, but instead his army gets caught out. And instead, he's just going to go for a base trade. Like, he trades a little bit here, but he just dives on in. He's going for the stack defense. He could even go for the Nexus if he wanted to. And then he's going to have to recall the hell out of here because, yo, Neeb is hot on his tails. Is he just committed? He is. He's just going for it. Yo, he gets 2 Disruptors for free. Not bad. Astrea out-controlling Neeb here. So far, so good. Getting set up for a massive concave as well. The Disruptors are looking exposed. The Zelts are coming in from behind. Ooh. Novas do find connections though, but 3 Disruptors get taken out. It doesn't even matter. The Novas were good enough. This is what we were talking about. Astrea may have a mass gateway army and he was up in supply, but the quality is here for Neeb. We just need half-decent Disruptor shots and we're good. We're good to go. And here come in the DTs of Neeb. Now the turns have tabled. We see a recall here for an observer, but it doesn't even matter as the base is going to go down. Astrea can afford to lose his base, to be fair. He's double expanding towards the north. God, his expansions are crazy. Speaking of expansions being crazy, he blinks on forward, and oh my god, he targets down every single Disruptor, and now Astrea may have just done it. Without Disruptors, without Immortals, his Blink Stalkers are superior compared to Neeb. He has a double upgrade advantage. These are 3-1 Stalkers, and Neeb, he's just losing too much here. He was banking, and I was believing so much in his Disruptors, in his high-tech units, but for him to lose them all immediately like that, he has lost any kind of advantage that he had. Ugh. We have 0 Disruptors on the map, 0 Immortals. There are 2 on the way, but Neeb has to do something crazy to buy time here for them to come out once again. And Neeb for the first time is scouting the top left hand base. I say top left. Top left hasn't even been scouted. And now we're trading a base for a base, and Astrea can afford to lose his Nexus. Neeb, not so much. Oh, and here we go. The blinks are real. 1 half-decent connection, but look at the sheer swarm of Zealots coming in. The Zealots, the Stalkers, everything is insane. Neeb is going to lose his 3rd base, and lose even more than that because we do have a War Prism in the main base as well. Neeb is all in. With his Blink Stalkers, he can maybe get another base, sure, but if Astrea ever recalls, it looks like he wants to, then he's going to have plenty to defend. No, doesn't recall. He's committed. Ah. God. But the numbers are real here for Astrea, and he even has a base towards the top left. Like, I don't see a world where he can win a base trade. It's the only way that he can win, but there is that recall in the end. Astrea is going to hold on to his main and his natural. He comes in even from the right-hand side as well. Neeb does have a couple of Disruptors, to be fair, though. Like, he can still maybe take a fight, but not if he gets surrounded. Not like this. Oh, he can blink to the other side of these rocks. And that will help. We need the most miracle purification embers right now. We need them. We need them. They go up. Gets 1 Zealot. We need more than that, Papi. We need more than that. Neeb is down 20 army supply. Oh, God. But sometimes 1 Nova is all you need. Up. Gets 2 Zealots. The boys have been pulled. Neeb realizes how all in he is, and he's like, mate, let's just go. I need everything right now. A couple of DTs are coming into play as well, but we do have detection for Astrea. The probes are pulling left to right. Hold position is going to help a little bit with the AI, with the SimCity. Oh my god. But GG gets called. Astrea fights back, and he puts a point on the board. Ooh. That was crazy. Oh god, Astrea, he was doing so well with those Blink Stalkers. We saw there was that one moment, there was like a minute-long period where Neeb lost 4 Disruptors and 2 Immortals, like just like that. Astrea did so well for himself fighting back there, and and being able to bring it all the way back and go all the way to game 4. I appreciate that it is not a 3-0. I don't think anyone wants a 3-0 here. I think we all want this to go all the way to the ace match. Astrea is a great player. Neeb is a great player. I feel like it wouldn't do the players justice if we saw only 3 games. So thankfully, that is not what we are going to get. Meanwhile, do we have other updates in the chat? That was a pretty long game, to be honest. Oh. Looks like we do have some other updates. Namshar, 2-0s Kozan and 2-0s Ryan. Namshar currently mid-series against Riser. Meanwhile, Asuna did end up finally coming out on top against Rocker. And Jason is playing against Asuna in the lower bracket round 4. Oh boy. So we only have a couple of series left. After we finish Neeb versus Astrea, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 series remaining. Only 4. 5 actually. Oh my god, that's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. I'm thinking about maybe taking a nap before Taiwan, Hong Kong. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't sleep too much, and I'm a little bit worried about the Taiwan, Hong Kong broadcast. But before that happens, we are loading in for the first time tonight. Moondance. Let us go, because spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondance ESL, we have the player who is still leading the series. We have the player who still needs only 1 map win to qualify for TeamLiquid StarLeague. Representing Onside Gaming, it is Neeb. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Moondance ESL, we have the American Protoss. He is blue, representing Alpha X. It is Astrea. The man himself. Fighting back, looking to tie up the series. He needs this win here if he wants to bring it all the way to the ace match. And we were talking about it earlier. We were talking about how Astrea can sometimes think outside the box. We saw him go for the gold base on Cosmic Sapphire. Does he have something special in store for us here on Moondance? Again, Moondance, one of the least popular maps in the map pool. Does have a pocket base, so you can save that pocket base for either your 3rd or your 4th, or maybe even your 5th. It's a really weird base because if you haven't realized, there is only 1 gas geyser here, and there are less mineral patches. I believe 12 instead of 16 workers available here, as there are only 6 mineral patches as opposed to the regular 8 for a main base. So yeah, it's a kind of a quirky map because of that. You can kind of easily take a pseudo 3rd, but Astrea goes down a pylon here in his main. Makes sense. I think he's a little bit scarred. I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was Creator. It was a couple of days ago, we saw a Protoss player proxy Dark Shrine in the pocket base of their opponents. Right here, it was a proxy Twilight Council and Dark Shrine. Can't quite remember who it was. I want to say it was Creator. No, sorry, it wasn't Creator. It was done to Creator. It was Prince. Prince went for a proxy Dark Shrine, but Astrea. What? Astrea goes for his pocket base as his natural. This is why I love Astrea, because what the hell is going on? On top of that, Neeb opened up with 2 gates into a 3rd gate, by the way, into a robo mate. Neeb is going for a 1 base all in. Okay, a couple of things are going on as Neeb even checks and scouts his natural base. Again, he doesn't want to be done dirty. He doesn't want to be proxied within his own base. Neeb, for all he knows, he's up against 1 base play. He hasn't scouted the pocket because there's no reason to scout the pocket. The mind games are real. We'll see if Neeb ends up going there, but no, he doesn't. He just checks the regular natural location, confirms the double sentry opener. This is looking pretty standard. The probe goes down, and Neeb is now put on notice. We do see the hallucination scout though. 3 gates have been scouted. The robo has been scouted as well. Astrea now knows 100% that Neeb is going for a 1 base all in. It looks like he's going to stick around, and he confirms the war prism as well. And now can Astrea defend? He throws down one shield battery on the high ground. This is so greedy, by the way. He's no, don't reveal your hand. Uh-oh. Does Neeb know? It looks like he doesn't. The kind of the pathing of that probe was a little bit suspect, not gonna lie. Oof. But Neeb, he doesn't know, otherwise he would be here punishing these probes. Meanwhile, we have 3 sentries. If Neeb ever tries to push up this ramp, we're going to be seeing the force fields cut up, slice up that army. Shield battery finishes up, and we are working on a robot for immortal production of our own. No, he checks! Neeb checks and he sees he has found the ninja, the quote-unquote ninja base, the natural base, not like this. And Astrea is force fielded out of his own base. Ay, ay, ay. Astrea going to be losing a lot here. 6 probes go down as well as the Nexus. Astrea is going to try and clean this up. And Neeb is kind of stuck here. But is he... Who's stuck with who is what I want to know. Oh god, we do see that Neeb is trying to sneak into the main base, and it looks like he will. Decent target fire on the prison, but the prison survives, and Neeb is breaking in. Boys are forced off the line. Nice target fire though. The war prism goes down, and just like that, we cannot reinforce across the map. Neeb, what we see is what we get. This is all he has to work with. And it looks like it's not going to be enough. Astrea is going to clean up this army. He lost his Nexus. Oh, he lost 10 workers though. Neeb has dealt a lot of damage. And even though the aggression has ended, I think this is okay for Neeb. He's ahead. He's ahead 10 workers. And he's got immortals on the way. And he's got a natural base on the way as well. Oh boy, the pressure is on. The pressure is on Astrea right now to do something with this army. He does have a supply lead right now. But we have immortals. I don't know, man. Can he even force a cancel at the natural? It would be nice if he could. I don't know if he can. Oh, sentries here in the prison looking to maybe force field the ramp if he ever finds the opportunity to. Oh my god, 4 sentries. He's waiting. He's waiting. Like, if an army responds to these stalkers, he's going in. We see it cancel. Astrea is expanding behind this. But it's possible Neeb is okay just staying on one base. You know, three gates. This isn't a bad thing. Astrea is going to back the hell up. Going to be going for a bit of a hallucinated scout. Sneaking in behind the mineral line. He's base up and running. Oh, but now that the prism is done, Neeb is going across the map. Oh, and the hallucination barely... I think he barely saw it. It's hard to say. Is there a world? Can Neeb snipe this immortal? Oh god, he's going for it. He's going for it. The war prism is here across the map. He's going to go for the double immortal drop. He's going to get a couple of probes. Oh, and he already gets a couple of shots off on the immortal of Astrea. With the prism, it should be able to stay alive though. There we go. Astrea holds onto his bases, but he loses a couple of workers in the process. 4 probes in total. Neeb still maintains that worker lead from earlier. Long distance mining. Oh. And yeah, after all said and done, things are slowly stabilizing. I say stabilizing, hopefully Neeb doesn't lose the prism. There we go, he does keep it alive. But yeah, both players are getting their bases up and running. Worker counts have evened up. Both players are working with their robos. The biggest difference right now, and honestly it's a pretty huge difference, especially in PvP, Twilight Council is done for Neeb. Blink is already on the way. This is a huge upgrade. Oh my god, but is it huge? Because you know what? 1 immortal goes down, Neeb slipping up with his micro a little bit. 2nd immortal already sustaining a lot of damage as well. And what Astrea lacks in Blink, he makes up for in the 3rd base. But Neeb throws down his own 3rd as well. I think it's really interesting that they both take the pocket bases. I mean, they are safer, but I feel like they matter less for Protoss, just because of how, like, useful and how important gas is. But I guess they both want to be safer than anything else. And oh, interesting. So we don't see this too often. The fact that a player intentionally avoids Blink or Twilight Council for so long, he's going straight into Disruptors, and this is a great way to make up for the lack of Blink. But Neeb is coming, and he's got almost double the army supply. And there's no shield battery. Astrea, not like this, puppy, not like this. He may have 3 immortals, but he doesn't have an overcharge. The immortal goes down immediately. Astrea was not ready for this fight at all. He was teching up. He was going into Colossus, not Disruptor, question mark. That's never gonna come into play, mate, because Neeb is here, and now the next side is gonna be going down. Force fields are honestly pretty good, reducing a lot of surface area, forcing a lot of these Stalkers not to even be a part of the fight for Neeb. So best case scenario here for Astrea. But even then, it's not going to be enough. The micro is just too damn good. The Immortals will not die. They will remain immortal. We see the blink on forward. War Prism goes down. Immortals go down. There's nothing left here for Astrea. The Colossi is almost done, but even a Colossus wouldn't really do too much here. GG gets called, and Neeb takes the series 3-1 and qualifies for TeamLiquid StarLeague. Oh, GG, well played. I hope I pressed the right button there. But congratulations, Neeb. Really well fought there in the end. Astrea, once again, on one of the more different maps. It was really cool to see him just like approach things in a little bit of a different way. As we let the admins know the score. But yeah, GG, well played there by Neeb. It was really cool to see Astrea try to make use of the pocket base. It was really cool to see him skip the Twilight Council and go straight into Robotics Bay. And it was even cooler to see him go for Colossus. You rarely see Colossus in PvP. Again, Astrea just thinking outside the box. But unfortunately, maybe trying to be a little bit too cheeky there. Bouncing around a little bit too much. Oof.